Time now is 7:44. Barack Obama up another win in Mississippi's primary, padding his lead in the Democratic presidential race. Voters in Mississippi voted largely along racial lines. Obama won 91% of the African-American vote, while Hillary Clinton won 72% of the white vote. Both Obama and Clinton will spend most of the next 6 weeks campaigning in Pennsylvania ahead of that state's primary on April 22nd. Joining us this morning is political analyst Mark Curtis. He's over in San Francisco. Good morning, Mark.
Ross, good morning.
I guess it wasn't much a surprise to see Barack Obama win in Mississippi.
No, but once again, the margin of victory is a big deal. He had over 60%, Hillary Clinton under 40 in any political calculation. That's known as a landslide. He winds up with a net gain of maybe 5 more delegates, but in a race this close, a net gain is important, especially after his, rather big losses last week.
They say in some exit polling, though, he won a group of people who considered the economy the biggest issue. If he could take that economy issue to Pennsylvania, he might do well.
Well, he might, but again, it's a tough sell. Pennsylvania, much like Ohio was last week, a heavily unionized state, and that favors Hillary Clinton. I think part of the appeal with Obama is he's new and he's different, and people are very receptive to his ideas about the economy. On the other hand, the Clinton campaign says, check his record. What has he done legislatively, either in Illinois as a state senator there or in the U.S. Senate, to justify his chops on the economy? So we'll see, but, that's going to be the big issue in Pennsylvania, as it has been elsewhere.
The Clinton campaign also says even though Barack Obama has more delegates, Hillary Clinton is more electable.
Well, that may be the case, but Barack Obama has more popular votes. He's won more state caucuses and primaries, and he leads in the delegate count. And that's his argument for the nomination, even if he doesn't get to that magic number of 25 delegates before the convention in Denver. He feels because he has the most popular votes, he's won the most primaries, and he has the most delegates, he should be the nominee.
You think the Democrats have to bring Florida and Michigan back into play here?
Absolutely, because if they disenfranchise the voters in Florida and Michigan, they can forget about it in November. And obviously, the Democrats need to win one or both of those states in November to win the White House. And they cannot, stir the wrath of voters in Florida again, let alone the voters in Michigan. So they're going to have to settle it somehow.
Apparently, Florida has a plan they're working on that it would be a new primary, and they would have mail-in votes. But there's even some fighting along party lines on that one.
Yeah, the Obama campaign would certainly like to see a redo in Florida because he lost there. I think Hillary Clinton's margin of victory was about 60%. So, they stand to gain in Florida by having a redo, either by mail or in person, on the Obama side, because, as you recall, no one campaigned there. And so now he has a lot of momentum. He might do a lot better the second time around. And in Florida, the delegates are awarded proportionally.
On another issue here regarding John McCain, there was a lawsuit or something filed in court here recently challenging whether he can really run for the presidency because they say he's not a natural-born citizen.
Well, that has been around for years. That came up in 2000 when he ran against George W. Bush in the primaries. John McCain was born in the Panama Canal Zone. His father was an admiral in the U.S. Navy, and he was born as his father was serving in the Navy there in the Panama Canal Zone. And, of course, at that time, the Panama Canal Zone was a territory of the United States. By comparison, if you were born in Puerto Rico today, even though it's not a U.S. state, it's a territory, you would also be eligible to be president of the United States. So this is probably nothing more than a nuisance lawsuit, but it'll be interesting to see what the court says.
And just before I say goodbye, at 8:30 this morning, Eliot Spitzer is supposed to, we are hearing, resign as governor of New York. Is there really anything else he could do?
He probably doesn't have a choice. The fact that he may be facing criminal charges, and what we've been hearing is that he will resign as governor in exchange for federal prosecutors not filing charges against him. That's been a deal they've been trying to work out the last couple of days. Obviously, his political career is over, but I think he would rather have his political career over than the possibility of facing prison time.
It makes you wonder what he would do if he was prosecuting himself.
Yeah, very interesting. A guy that went after a lot of criminals for money laundering and other things that are implicit in what is alleged in this particular case. It's going to be interesting as, by the way, the practical political fallout, he was a super delegate for Hillary Clinton, so -1 for Hillary Clinton today. That may not seem like a lot, but in a race that's as close as it is, Ross, perhaps that one vote could make a difference. We'll see.
All right, read Mark Curtis's blog, markcurtismedia.com. Thank you, Mark.
Thanks, Ross.
Time now is 7:49. Let's go back to the desk.